How's it going, everybody? This is Novakast back with another video, and with this one, I wanted to give a quick review of Don't Look Up. It was directed by Adam McKay, written by Adam McKay, as well as David Sirota. Hopefully I said that correctly. And where do I begin with this? Because, first of all, I guess if anything, to start off, it has a great cast. And to an extent, at first, especially with this particular film, I wasn't particularly interested in it. I mean, the basic setup is literally like a doomsday movie where, meteor or comet, giant rock in the sky, basically, or giant rock in space, basically, is going to collide with Earth. Pretty much an Armageddon level event. And it's up to a group of people to try to fix the problem. But to an extent, that doesn't necessarily happen. And I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think it's spoiling much. Fuck it, I don't care. Forgive my language, but I'm not gonna lie, they don't. And it's because of stupidity. And I kind of feel like they were trying to go with something with this particular film. Where, especially with, I guess, if anything, the media, just, how do I go about this, like, without going too political? Because, to an extent, I kind of feel like this is a political movie. Especially with, certainly, like, either they're trying to discuss something, or at least when it comes down to certain issues, like, large issues, a lot of that is basically kind of thrown out the window or pushed aside for really stupid and menial shit. That is basically what this movie is about. I guess, and to tie in, again, the apocalyptic event is people just, for almost the entire film, not being able to get their heads out of their asses, focusing on the minor shit. Focusing on people and believing on lies that certain politicians or groups will tell you, having media outlets basically not even going over bigger issues and not even dealing with the problem. I think, if anything, that's what the general setup for this film is, where, again, post-apocalyptic event, and we have all this shit going on, and nobody wants to talk about it at first. Then, to an extent, because especially with the setup of the president, they don't want to do anything until their ratings go down, and they proceed, okay, now we want to help out. But wait, no. And even after they had immediately started the launch for a potential way to destroy the meteor, no, we have some rich asshole coming in saying, no, we're gonna basically come in and do a half-assed drill operation to gather materials that would make us rich, when in reality what we should be focusing on is the destruction of this comet, which could annihilate all of humanity. And things just spiral out of control. So eventually, boom. And I did do a snap. But yeah, boom. Where almost the entire fucking planet is annihilated. Besides the few rich people who had a ship hidden away and basically set themselves up for, the doomsday event, which, kind of says a lot about our, political stance. But again, I'm not trying to go political because this is, oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy this movie just because of the absurdity of it. And to an extent, it does kind of, or is reminiscent to what we see on the daily. And the acting with the cast that we got in, like Leonardo DiCaprio being one of them, as well as, if I remember correctly, Jennifer Lawrence, Merlin Streep, Kate Blanchett, Jonah Hill, who is the obnoxious social media prick in the movie, is okay. I kind of hated his character, but in the end, because I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it kind of reminds me of a lot of other social media, like high influencer BS people that just care about, money and shit and things. All in all, it's a good movie. Casting, perfect. And not a lot of CGI. I think, if anything, the CGI gets heavy towards the end, where they're using, or I guess, if anything, more so towards, let's say, again, near the very end, especially for, like, the rocket launches. That's about it. Other than that, there's not a lot of CGI. It's, a decent film. It's decent. And, again, it says a lot about, and you can look, and honestly, you could look at, and by the way, this is just my perspective. You guys probably will have a different perspective at looking at this film. But this is just my perspective of it. Because, again, it looks like something that kind of reminisces towards what we see in social media, as well as the news, as well as a variety of other things when dealing with major fucking issues. So, all in all, it was a decent film. I enjoyed it. Irritated me. Again, I will say it did irritate me. Kind of brought in some real emotions when it comes down to some shit. But all in all, it's good. It's good. So, I don't think... And it's... I guess, if anything, to be perfectly honest, it kind of gives me a maelstrom of emotions. Because... Again, I like the film, but at the same time, I'm mad at the film. If that makes any sense. Because to an extent, it's, again, shows stuff that we've seen in real life, as well as, shows how, I guess, if anything, for a lot of people, how jaded we are. How, to an extent, we will drop everything on the, just drop everything for the way to, make a quick buck. All in all, it's just, especially for a lot of people, especially people who are rich, who will just, sacrifice everybody else for fucking money. It just goes to show. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Now, for final thoughts, honestly, it's, I don't know. It's difficult. Because, to an extent, it's a very simple film. And it is... It makes you think. It really does. It really does. So, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead... I don't want to sound like I'm basically just giving this one a freebie. Because I think I've kind of expressed a lot of emotion with this one. So, I think with this particular review... I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Actually, no. You know what? Just sound like I'm not, basically bending over for this. I'm going to give this a 9. Honestly. I'm not going to completely give it a 10. To an extent, it's a movie that does make you think. To a certain degree. And apparently this got the 27th annual Critics' Choice nominee, so and I guess for some people it's 5.1, so but yeah, 9. I'll give it a 9. Final verdict for Don't Look Up, 9 out of 10. I thought it was a decent film that made you think. And with that, that was my review of Don't Look Up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, because I know some people will, leave in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.